Check, check.
Check, check. Thank you very much for the whistles, whoever that was. I do appreciate it. We've only got 15 minutes, so we will go as quickly as possible. My name is James Cuthbert. I work for Biblica. I work under Joshua's team, the one that is running this or has planned this whole conference. And pretty much my role is do whatever he says and figure it out. So what I do is get Daniel and Scott to do it for me. And then I look good for Joshua and the rest of the team. So I thought this session would be quite good to talk a little bit about collaboration with other organizations. And so first off, I want to introduce Don here from, and you can just give a testimony on the collaboration and working together.
So I'm Don Barger, and I lead the Innovation and AI team at the International Mission Board. And the purpose of this session is for us to share how we work together and in partnership with other organizations. I also work a lot with Joshua on different projects, but in this session, it's Dan and Scott who have really helped us as we started rolling out some AI solutions at our organization. Early on, Dan was able to come in and help our organization do things safely and securely, and then Scott's been able to help us deploy things really quickly. And so we want to model that there's more than one org that's doing a lot of these things, and we really need to work together and learn from one another.
Yeah, so just to kind of set up some of what you're going to see from Scott. So what we've done with the IMB and now with Biblica is, there are multiple ways to connect to AI models. Some of those are connecting to closed models that are sort of lack transparency, do store your data, at least depending, different ones have different terms and conditions, but certainly you don't have control over that infrastructure, and in some cases there's breach of privacy or even IP and ownership types of things. So what we've done with the IMB is we've deployed AI system with Prediction Guard internally in their organization. So it's just dedicated for IMB. There's a number of models that run in there. I think Llama 3.3 and coding
Hopefully
models and embeddings, and it's just soon Llama 4. And those are running in their infrastructure such that all the data that they send to that system, it doesn't flow to any other third-party system. It's only flowing to that single tenant. And all of that maintains privacy and all of that. And then on top of that kind of AI system, which is Prediction Guard, then there's kind of a few personas of people that use that system. One would be kind of the developer persona that's developing kind of custom applications. Showed that a little bit earlier with kind of some of the Paratext integration and other things that are custom. Then there's a persona of kind of, I just want general chat usage or kind of no customization. And so they have an internal chat, general chat that runs on top of that system. And then there's kind of an in-between, so a low-code, no-code user that's building AI agents, but they're doing it on that private, secure system, again, where none of that data leaves to a third party, and you have kind of control and customizability around what models you're running and how to govern those. So one of those low-code, no-code things that's running on top of the system is Chipp. And we've worked kind of both with IMB and Biblica with self-hosted versions of what you'll see from Scott, such that, again, all of the data flowing through that system, you can monitor and own, and all of that's private.
So one question that myself from Biblica asked is, where's this text coming from? So when we first started the project we just had a meeting. It was like, where's this scripture coming from? Is it coming from ChatGPT, LLM? Where's it actually getting the scripture? So when we decided to integrate directly with Paratext, the discussion went even further of, we can have chats that are able to connect to brand new translations or existing translations that we have in Paratext. And that just opens up the avenue of making the Bible more accessible in different formats. So Scott here has beautifully helped us create these AI agents, and I want to set the stage of how easy it is. I think it's quite incredible that I can sit on my computer, or Don can sit in an aircraft going across the Atlantic and create 40 AI agents just on the plane. And so, yeah, we're going to do a live demo in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So we're speaking at 4:30, and we said we could build agents in a half hour, and then it was like, what's cooler than building agents in a half hour? Building it in 5 minutes. So before we do that, we need to document this moment, because this is the last moment of your lives before you are AI builders. So what I want you to do right now is to stand up and take a selfie of yourself or of you and a friend. Also, this will help you document your experience. No, serious, 30 seconds. Selfie. This is me filling while we take a selfie. Here we go. Hey, that's actually a fun one with the stage. All right. Meet somebody new. Take a selfie. We can put the screen on to my IT friends. Oh, it's all right. Yeah. I don't need to do much.
One-handed in 5 minutes.
Excellent. All right. I see some good selfies. Please tag. Please tag. Now, if you have your cell phone out, anybody have their cell phone out? Oh, you guys have your cell phones out. That's awesome. All right. Go ahead and scan the QR code so I can give you some shortcuts so that you can become an AI builder in the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So we are going to take you to the Chipp.ai/missional page. So if the QR code isn't working for you for any reason, you can just type in chipp.ai/missional. It's also handily on the screen. I'll give you about 10 seconds to get there. Now, why do we want to use this rather than ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is great for single player mode. If you're going to go ask questions, something you need to do, just go use ChatGPT. If it's not private, just go hit that. But if you're going to use something with your team and you want to control how it responds, you want it to respond with a certain type of Bible verse, you want it to respond with a certain type of length or emojis or voice, you can build it with something like Chipp, where it's pre-programmed, so it always gives you the answers and the responses you want. So we're going to build one today for you. Hopefully you've had time now to click on that QR code or go to the website. So you should have landed on this page. I'm going to give you two options. When you scroll down just a little bit, we have a few templates that we're going to give you. Who here wants to build a biblical scholar? Raise your hand. All right. Who wants to build a digital protege? Help you write stuff? Anybody? Cool. Well, click on the one you want. You get to decide. Go ahead and click on whichever template you think, or if you want to do an HR assistant or others, those are ready for you. Now, while you're clicking on that, we do have the Chipp Academy, totally free way to learn how to use AI and Chipp. So if I go too fast and you can't come to the session at 4:30, just click on that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the protege. That'll take me to a template. So this would be if I want to start chatting with a protege, but this one is trained generally, right? That's not going to be very fun if you want to create your own protege. So what we want to do is put this into your own voice. So we're going to click Get This Template or Duplicate, whatever you see, and it's going to ask you a few questions to sign up. So go ahead and click either one of those, and we should be able to duplicate the app, and it'll go into your Chipp account. Let's go ahead and try that. Maybe that one will. Let's go. Here we go. Val, is it going to give it to me? Takes a minute. All right, Val says it takes a minute. All right, so that's going to be duplicating. So you guys are answering questions while that's building, and I'll pull up where we're going to end up. I'll give you just a second here while we go. There we go, there we go. All right, we're crushing it. We're crushing the servers. I love it. All right, yeah, that's good. Well, go ahead and we'll keep going. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I love it. We're destroying it. Keep going. Keep hitting it. Yeah, maybe I need to do a hotspot. That's a good idea. There you go. All right. Now everybody connect to, actually I have one right here. iPhone. Let's see what we got. Somebody's iPhone. That's right. Thank you, whoever's out there. All right. I'll go through the protege. Here we go. Yeah. We'll click on duplicate. Now, all of these templates are available at any time, so if your Wi-Fi slows down, you can always click on templates, and you can search for all of the templates here. And so, for example, we can just search on missional, and we'll see the missional biblical scholar. These are all built by our community. And we'll go into the app where that's going to go. Here we go. It's not going to do it. Too much action. Maybe. All right, too much action. Okay, well, now you get to come at 4:30 to see it in action. Let's see if we have any behind-the-scene views. I should have done it for you first before showing it off. All right, well, let me give you behind the scenes how you're going to prompt us. Now, there's two ways to build your agent once you get in there. You can either tell it how to behave or you can show it how to behave. If you tell it how to behave, that's what's called a prompt or an instruction, right? And the easy way to do this is what's known as the RIPE framework, R-I-P-E. So you're going to have 4 sentences, really easy. Who is the AI supposed to be? So you are a skilled marketer. That's the role, right? Secondly, we're going to give it an instruction. What type of content do you need? What type of topic should be included? And create a draft. So you can imagine if I'm talking to it, that's what it's going to ask me as the user. I don't know how to use AI, but it's going to ask me to put things in rather than me asking it, right? So I'm prompting the rest of my team to create. Then I'm going to set parameters, the P, keep it concise, use bullet points. And most importantly, the E, the example. I want to give a good example of a social media post or something I've written. So if you're creating your digital protege, you're just going to say, you are writing as Scott Meyer. Your job is to help me write whatever content's needed and ask me questions. Always keep it concise and ask me for ideas. And here's an example of a previous email or blog post I've written, right? So that's me telling the AI how to behave, the instructions. The second way we can do it is that we can show it by uploading information. So we can go into the knowledge sources and upload a YouTube video, a document, a PDF, and it'll copy that type of output, right? So you can train it on what you want the output to be. And one of the options we can use for knowledge sources is Paratext. So Paratext will then allow you to pull in whichever version that you're interested in. So maybe we can talk about the use, how Don, you're using it in East Africa. I think it's quite interesting, and maybe Biblica as well.
So Biblica first. So for the Missional AI app, there's that chat function. So at the end of every day, we're going to do transcriptions of the sessions that we're having. We're going to upload it. And then you can actually interact with the content that's been uploaded. So you can place your notes within the chat and say, can you provide me a summary of my notes that are connected to the session? And what did I miss? What is some highlights that are important that needs to be added? So that you can see in comparison what has been said within the transcription and your own notes. So that's sort of like a quick, that took me about 5 minutes to do.
There you go. Well, and I got in if we want to see it now. So hopefully you can see this, or if you want to go back home and use it, we'll kind of show you where everything lives here. And maybe you can speak to your example as we go.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get in. So one of the things that we've done is we've built like some AI chatbots, so the Biblical Scholar bot, where you can go and ask it any questions. And so we use those in digital engagement scenarios where someone can see an ad on Facebook, they've got a question, and when we don't have human responders available, we can default it to going over to the chatbot, and then the chatbot can take those questions. At the same time, you can capture those questions as it's answering those, as people are asking questions, you can actually start building a persona of who the people are that are interacting with the chatbot. And then you can start thinking about the issues that keep them up at night. What are the felt needs that these people have so that we can then build more targeted advertising on social media for those. And so we built this little NFC card, if you were in my session earlier, you just tap this on your phone and it'll also open up the chatbot. But I literally think, I walk around and I think, oh, we could build a chatbot for that. We could build a chatbot for a bunch of different problems that we're facing, not just on the ministry side of things, but lots of things that he shows on the slide where it just shows all the different options. I love to go there and see what other people have built.
So once you've built your chatbot, which we'll do this afternoon, this is what your users or colleagues are going to see, right? And you can embed this in a website as a little bubble. You can put it on a website. You can put it into WhatsApp, so they're actually using WhatsApp and talking to your pre-trained agent. But you can have a conversation that's pulling information, from whatever tools that you're going to include. And so really easy way to get started. And what's nice when you are the builder is you can change it, right? To say only respond with this. Always remind them to contact us for information. Tell them if they want to sign up as a volunteer, go here, right? So you can really control the information people get. So I encourage you to play around and join us at 4:30 and throw it over to Biblica for final words.
Yeah, so I just want to emphasize the concept of the collaboration, because there's only so much that Biblica can do as an organization. There's only so much prediction God can do. But when we come together and use our skills and the tools that have been created, I think we're able to create quite beautiful things at a much quicker rate than we ever expected, and give a little bit more power to just the users. And yeah, quite excited for what's going to happen in the years to come.
Perfect.
And yeah,
Great to be here. Look forward to meeting you all. Yeah.
thank you very much.